So I'm going to purposely call this Bondarchuk Oversimplified. And even though I'm saying to you that I'm going to oversimplify it, I guarantee someone will comment or send me a message or something and be like, dude, you know it's way more complex than that. And it's like, yes. That's why I said that this is oversimplified. In any case, I came across a video, and it was a little group of experts, people with more letters after their name than I have in my entire name combined. And these people are regarded as gurus and experts in exercise and fitness and strength, etc. And they were discussing Bondarchuk, and they were all basically saying that they didn't understand it. Is what it came down to. So they all had ideas of like, well, this is what I think it is, but I really don't understand it. And the thing that I can't help but wonder, if you don't understand it, why are you talking about it, number one? But number two, you're criticizing it. Well, you just said I don't understand it, so why are you criticizing it? And number three, and this is the most important one of all, if you don't understand it, ask Derek Evely. Ask Nick Garcia. Martin Bingasser has a website called Hammer Media. There's a ton of stuff on there. There are tons of resources. There's articles and everything. Transfer of training and all these different things where you can go just read and see how Bondarchuk's programming works. So if you don't understand it, why are you criticizing it? But also, why don't you just go learn it then? If I don't understand something, I just go learn it. I didn't understand thermodynamics, so I got a thermodynamics textbook. I just ordered a textbook off of Amazon and read it. Second law of thermodynamics does not say what you think it says, by the way. It's about heat and moving it from a colder area to a warmer area, but never mind, that's not important. Point is being that if you don't understand something, just get a damn book. And in fact, these days, you can just look practically everything up online. You don't even have to buy a book. But I do like textbooks. I'm a nerd, and I really like my textbooks. So, Bondarchuk, let's get into it. I'm going to oversimplify it here, but I'm going to make some sense of this. So he trains throwers. This is very important to the subject, because if you don't throw further, then it doesn't fucking matter. Now, I realize that sounds harsh. Oh, Chad, that's mean. What if I want to do curls? And that's fine. You want to do curls, you go do fucking curls and pick up chicks on the beach or whatever the shit is that you do your curls for. But if you are a thrower, your goal is to throw further. Now, it doesn't matter if you snatch 70 kilos or you throw, 20 meters or whatever the fuck it is, okay? If you increase your snatch or your squat and the distance of your throw does not increase, then it didn't matter. And I can tell you this as a weightlifter, okay? So in weightlifting, I got it into my head, because I listen to people, and I shouldn't, that if I improved my back squat, all my lifts would go up. And so for an entire year, I just got rid of everything else that I was doing. No other accessory work. I just squatted and squatted and squatted and squatted. I mean, I attacked the back squat with everything I had. Don't get me wrong, I still did snatches, I still did cleans, because you got to maintain those skills. It's a very technical movement, okay? But my primary goal was always squatting. That's what I did. My primary goal, I put everything into squatting. And when I would come in and work out, my first lift wasn't snatch. No. I came in and I squatted first, because my goal was to improve my squat. And across the course of a year, I turned my 1 rep max into something that I could do for 10. So what I was previously able to do for 1 rep, by the end of a year, I was able to do a set of 10. And I probably could have taken it further, but I don't like to do like real AMRAPs whenever it's something like a back squat. Don't get me wrong, I'm all for AMRAPs. I'm all for AMRAPs. You want to do AMRAPs on some other movement? Go for it. I'm all for training to failure. You want to do leg extensions to failure? Do leg extensions to failure. I don't like the idea of doing a back squat or a deadlift to failure because, you get stapled to the ground whenever you fail back squat. And that's just not worth it to me. I'm not interested in risking injury. A younger me would have done that. A much younger me did that on a regular basis. I got stapled to the ground plenty of times. But then again, I also had a training partner who was 6'8" and 325 pounds, and he would literally just pull the bar off my back. So I was never afraid to miss a squat because whatever I could squat, he could pretty much power clean. And so I was never worried about missing a squat because my spotter was so strong that even my best back squat was less than his power clean. Dude used to do power cleans with like 405 for sets of 5. Like it was just, yeah, he was awesome. Played offensive line, 6'8", 325 pounds, and he was lean. That's a lean 325. He was not a fat 325. Dude was unbelievable. That's a good training partner for you. Anyways, so if it isn't making you throw further, it's not worth doing. Now, let's take a look at the way Bondarchuk might put together a program, and we're just going to make up a fake program here, okay? But let's say that your workout is, you're going to do 5 snatches, singles, and then you're going to do, 3 sets of 5 bench press, and then you're going to do 3 sets of 5 squat, okay? It's the same movements, all right? And you're going to pretty much use the same loads every time, the same reps, same everything. And you'll do the same workout over and over and over again. And you'll notice that the first time you do this workout, it's really fucking hard. And then you do this workout more and more and more. And of course you get this kind of repeated bout effect where it becomes easier and easier and easier. In fact, you'll probably find that you need less rest time between sets. And we will take a look at your throwing, and if your throwing is improving, then you continue doing this. Because the thing we are measuring is not how much can you squat, it's how far can you throw. So, we're going to follow this program, and then whenever you stop making progress, as in you're not throwing any further, not, oh, you stop making progress, well, no, yes, you're doing the same fucking weight for 5 singles in the snatch. Like, yes, you're not making progress in that regard. But you may be resting less time between sets because you've gotten so much stronger that it basically is, it's not difficult for you anymore. But more importantly, you're not throwing further. Now we change the movements. So now instead of a snatch, we do a hang power snatch. And, instead of a bench press, we're going to do an incline press or an overhead press. And instead of a back squat, we're going to do a front squat. And that's when you make the change. So you change the movements whenever progress stalls. But of course, we're measuring how far you throw, the shot, the hammer, the discus, whatever it is, okay? That's our metric that we're watching. We're not watching, hey, does he squat this much and can he squat more? No, that's not the point of it. The point of it is to make you a better thrower, okay? And so, that's one way you might look at the Bondarchuk system. It's intended to make you a better thrower. And so, yes, you'll do the same workout over and over and over again because actually that's less taxing than you changing every damn week. And so you're going to keep doing the same training, same system, same program, same workout over and over and over again until it basically becomes easy for you. And then that's whenever you change the movements. That's when you change the stimulus. So basically you pick a stimulus, train it until you adapt to it, and then you change it. You can take this logic and apply it to literally anything. You're going to pick a stimulus, you're going to hammer that stimulus, and you're going to do it until you adapt to it and get no further improvement, and then you change it. That's how simple I can make this. That is oversimplified, but that is the logic behind it. So now we'll just take it in a weird direction. I like to talk about Jim Wendler because Jim Wendler is fucking awesome. Jim Wendler does this Murph thing every fucking day. I don't know how he does it. He's got bigger balls than I do, because I don't want to do Murph even once, and apparently he does it every day. That's not that I haven't done it. I've done it. It sucked. Running with a weight vest on is not fun, especially whenever at the time I weighed 145 pounds, so running with a 20-pound vest on was not fun. I suppose it'd be different. If you're 225 and you're like a fucking running back, putting on a 20-pound vest probably doesn't make any difference to you. When you weigh 145 and you're built like a string bean, it's not so fun. It's kind of like when we would do ruck marches. Yeah, basically I felt like my bones and my joints are going to break because I'm small and I'm skinny. But if you're a big dude and you're strong, putting on an external load, it's not going to be the same. Anyways, so imagine Jim doing, Murph every day, okay? And the first time he does it, it takes him an hour, and then he does it in 55 minutes, and then he does it in 50 minutes, and then he does it in 45 minutes, and eventually he gets down to 30 minutes. And basically at that point, you're at a level where, like, it's not even that you can't, like, improve or something. It's just that it takes that much time for you to run 2 fucking miles and do 100 pull-ups, 200 push-ups, and 300 squats. Like, this is just the nature of it. Like, there's a certain amount of time. Like, you can't do 100 push-ups in a second. At some point, like, you just time. Like, that's what you're looking at. It's no different than when I remember we used to do these 2-minute tests for our PST. You know, you had 2 minutes to do as many push-ups as you could. And it's like there were guys that would crank out like 120. It wasn't because they couldn't do 300 push-ups. They could do far more. It's just you can't go any faster, especially whenever you were being held to strict standards of chest to deck and full lockout. And so, like, there's a point where you just can't go any faster and still complete the full range of motion. So, let's just take Murph and say that you keep improving your Murph time. So you started at 60 minutes and now you're all the way down to 30. And now, for multiple weeks in a row, you've done 30 minutes. You just can't get it to be any faster because it just takes you that long to do the reps. Now's the time to change the stimulus. Make sense? I realize that that's way oversimplified, but I'm trying to give you guys a really easy example. Pick something else, like maybe you do a circuit. So you're going to do like 5 overhead presses, 10 squats, and I don't know, let's pick some other movement in there, some type of a clean and jerk, right? So you're going to have like 3 bars set up, and you're going to do 5 overhead presses, 10 back squats, and let's just CrossFit it and do like 15 clean and jerks with a really light weight, okay? You repeat that circuit 5 times, and it takes you 25 minutes the first time. And then the next time you do it, it takes you 20 minutes to do it. And then, eventually it takes you 15 minutes to do it. So now you're doing 3 minutes per round. And you just can't go any faster than 3 minutes per round because that's how long it takes you to get the reps done. Like, you can't do full range of motion any faster. That's when you change the stimulus. So now instead of doing, overhead press, squat, and clean and jerk, maybe you switch to a bench press, a front squat, and a snatch. Okay? I just pulled that out of the thin air because I know Murph is a CrossFit workout, so I'm thinking about CrossFit type stuff, and there you have it. The point is, at some level, you keep doing the same workout over and over again. You can't do it any faster as a circuit, so you've adapted to it as much as you can. You've adapted to the stimulus. Now you change it. The same thing could be said if you wanted to just make it a strength thing. Let's say you're doing 100 kilos for 5 reps. And you want to do 5 sets of it, and the first time you go through, you have to rest like 5-6 minutes between sets. Then the next time you go through it, you only need to rest 4 minutes, and then eventually you only have to rest 3 minutes, and then you have to rest 2 minutes, and you get down to this point where basically you're able to go, with a 1-minute rest between these sets. Well, at that point you need to change the stimulus. That might just be increasing the weight on the bar, or you could just swap out and choose a different movement. Okay, but that's basically like Bondarchuk Oversimplified is choose a stimulus, train that stimulus over and over and over again until you adapt to it as much as possible. You squeeze as much of it as you can. Get everything out of it that you possibly can, and then you change the stimulus. That's how it works. So the goal is actually to adapt to the stimulus and then change it. So it's different than this whole constantly varied shit where just keep changing the stimulus all the time so you never adapt to anything. No. The point of the training is that you will adapt to it. So you're going to adapt to the stressor, the stimulus, whatever it is, and only after that do you make the change. I don't know how another way to explain that. I tried to make this as simplified as I possibly can, but that really is like the basics of it. How you implement that part becomes much more complex, and certainly it's going to be more complex depending on your sport even. But something like throwing is pretty straightforward. It's like, did you throw further, yes or no? Okay, I can't quantify that for hockey. I can't tell you, did you hockey better? In what way? You skated faster? You shot the puck faster? Like what? You went from an 80-mile slap shot to a 90? Like, what are we measuring? What's your blue line to blue line? Did you go from 2.6 to 2.16? Wow, that'd be fantastic. Like, what metric are we measuring? Because I can't just say, I hockeyed really well today. Like, Throwing is pretty simple, though. Not throwing is not simple. Throwing is really fucking hard. But the metric is simple. Did you throw further? Yes or no? There you guys have it. That is me oversimplifying Bondarchuk as much as I possibly can so that it's a very... I want to make it so that people at least understand it. The idea is that you have a stimulus, you adapt to it, and only after you have adapted to it do you change it. Get as much out of it as you possibly can, then change it. So, if you guys like the video, like the video. If you have opinions or you have a different interpretation of it, comment below. I'm open. I don't proclaim that I know. I'm not Bondarchuk, so I can't speak for him. But what I understand from everything that I've read and all the people I've talked to, that's basically how it works. If Derek or Nick sees this, I would like to thank you for the time that you spent discussing this with me. And if you think I've misstated something, by all means, you should comment below because you're far more of an expert on this than I am. If you have actually trained with Bondarchuk, you can also comment below and tell me your opinion. I would be very open and extremely interested in your experience with it. I understand that there's apparently 3 different models for how he implements this, and I don't know all 3 models, but I would love to talk to someone who has seen or done all 3 different models. So if you have an opinion and you have experience, please comment below. I'm actually asking you as a favor to comment below if you have personal experience. Otherwise, you know, I'm open to people's comments and questions, and I'll try my best to answer anything that people have. So subscribe if you like this kind of content. We can talk about all kinds of other programs. Maybe we'll do one on Charlie Francis. He's a favorite of mine. He should be a favorite of yours. If he's not, I would suggest that you go look him up and you learn as much as you can about Charlie Francis. God, so many valuable lessons there we can get into another video. Well, we have to make it another video because it would be weird to tack it into this one. But I'm weird, so never put it past me. I could just throw something at the end of one of these videos one of these days. I tell you guys all the secrets. I do a video on something. At the very end, I tell you guys, oh, by the way, there's this one little trick. Trainers hate him. Make sure you buy Garcinia Cambogia and green coffee bean. That's the secret. Save your money. Don't buy that shit. Hire a coach. It'll take you a lot further than some crap-ass shit they're selling on TV. Can't believe people buy that stuff. Anyways, I love you all. I hope this helps even just one person, and thank you for your time.